start with something a little personal. You are one of a growing but still rare breed of second-generation American Buddhists. And I just wonder, what was it like to grow up in a weird religion?
That's a great question. I don't remember it being an issue until I actually went off to college. Like, I didn't get a lot of questions about Buddhism, but I think that's exactly when I started coming out of the closet as a Buddhist. I always like to say that my parents sent me off with 2 heirlooms when I went to college. The first one was a mala, for counting recitations, mantras. That came from my father. And then the other present was my grandfather's flask. So I had these 2 worlds of like crazy party, young, having sex and drinking and all that stuff, and then also a hardcore Buddhist practice. And it was really then, as I started to really manifest and actually started a Buddhist group there, and it's actually now become a Buddhist house. It's 18 college students.
Where was that?
Living and working together in Wesleyan University.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's a great little meditation hall that they have, and everyone lives together and cooks together and things like that. So we have our own little Buddhist commune at Wesleyan.
You still have the flask?
I do have the flask. It's managed the years. The mall has fallen apart a couple times. But that's really when I started to get a lot of questions about Buddhism and actually start to realize, like, these 2 sides of myself, this young college lifestyle and also my hardcore Buddhist practice, that they are not separate at all. And that's actually sort of the first seeds of this book were planted at that point.
Interesting. It sounds like it resonates with the book quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
You can sort of see the seeds of it there. Okay. Another question I wanted to ask, your book, even before it's published, has become identified as appealing to the growing number of people from Generation O who might say of themselves that I'm not religious, but if I were anything, I'd be a Buddhist. Why do you think that people from the spiritual but not religious category seem to identify with Buddhism rather than some other religion? Is there
well, I think a lot of what's discussed in the book is that this is a philosophy and a way of life. And what we're offering in this book is a lot of tools for how to live your life with mindfulness and compassion. And that's just what we keep coming back to over and over again in this book. It doesn't have to be a religious thing. You don't have to convert. You don't have to tell everyone that you're a Buddhist and live a certain way and cut out certain things. It's how can you live your life where you go out with friends and you have sex and you have family issues and people die and you hate your job and there's all sorts of things that come up. How does any of that actually get related to with mindfulness and compassion? So, it could be any sort of religious background, but I think because Buddhism has really cornered the market on these particular terms, these particular ideas of really being present with your life, it's something that a lot of people are looking for, and it's something that we're trying to offer.
That's attractive to people. So, what would be your advice to someone who considers himself spiritual but not religious, but who doesn't want to identify with Buddhism? Would you have some advice for them about a particular path of practice?
Get lost. No, I'm kidding. I think the basic meditation instruction that's offered in this book, it's applicable for everything. It's just about being present with your life. It's about tuning into what's going on right now. And that's the training grounds, this meditation practice. We're training to be present with the rest of our lives. That's why we call it meditation practice, right? We say we're practicing for the 23 and a half hours that we're not on a cushion, when we actually want to be really a part of our life, really there with our friends, our lovers, our family, everyone.